What's going on, guys? Trucking with Joslin here. So, as you can see, I'm in my truck by myself. This will be my first video of the channel. This is my night transportation 1 month solo review. Okay, so I've been with Night 3 months now, 1 month training, 1 month solo, going into my second month, and this is my conclusion of night transportation. So, with that being said, let's get into my notes that I have made and my pros and cons list. So I've come to the conclusion that Knight is a decent company to work for. There are bad and good things about the company that you'll experience with any starter mega company. You know, things such as breakdown, starter pay, limited truck selection. You know, your unexpected breakdowns with any company, and then your starter pay. You get 45 cents a mile. You know, not the best, but it is a starter company. You're limited to truck selection with night transportation. Right now, their brands that they have on their fleet are Freightliner, Kenworth, International, and Volvo. I'm in a Volvo 760. This is my truck that I'm in now. I'm trading this truck in to get into a brand new T680 2024 Kenworth, and then somebody else is going to take this truck over. I took this truck over from my trainer, Sean Cahaling, Christian Brother Trucker. He was an awesome trainer. I couldn't ask for anyone better to train me. Um, I took his truck over. He went somewhere else. He went to Doug Andrews Distributing, and from everything he told me, he loves it over there. He's running reefer, and he has the ability to switch over to dry van, or the ability to switch over to flatbed, which is always a good thing. You know, one gets slow, and then you get your other divisions that you can switch into. Having a bad hair day. Anyways, but he's having a great time over there. You know, we talk here and there. You know, he makes his videos. I watch them, and this is gonna be my first video. So, you know, let's get into what I have written down. So, each night terminal has set/limited accounts. I'm a full-time over-the-road driver. I'm based out of Tulsa Terminal, which only has the dry division. So that means I can only haul what night transportation Tulsa has. So since they only have dry freight/dry van, that's the only thing I can haul. I can't hook up to a night refrigerated trailer, or a night port trailer, or a night uh, flatbed. So I can only haul the dry van trailers. So other terminals will have different accounts, like local OTR or dedicated, uh, and then they'll have divisions like port, reefer, flatbed, or dry van. Some may only have flatbed and reefer. Some will have port, reefer, and dry, or some sort of a mix, right? So each terminal has their own lines that they have in the run. So depending on the terminal you get, depends on the options you get to choose from. Now, we have a app called KT Mobile. It is Night Transportation Mobile. And this app, you can download it to your phone, your tablet, iOS, Android device, whatever. It's an okay app. You can view your loads, send load documents so you can get paid, and it tells you little color indicators in your load section if it's been paid, received, or if there's an error. Yellow means received and processing, red means error, contact and fix it, and then green means paid out. So They go through all that during orientation, which is a whole another topic that's on this list. So the app itself is a little clunky and could use some major improvements to make it smoother and cleaner, and which would help with the overall use of the app. There are some major notable bugs with the app I've experienced, such as getting a relay load. It will potentially show the wrong information and you will drive to the wrong pickup location. Then the app will update and show the correct pickup location. I've had this happen to me. I've gone from one drop to the original origin pickup location because the app never said it was going to be a relay and didn't update until that next morning. It updated after I went in to the shipper. They gave me paperwork and I spent an hour and a half trying to find this trailer that wasn't there. And then I went back over to the shipping department and said, hey, is this trailer here? They said, no, it's already been shipped out. Where'd you get the bills from? I said, that gentleman over there. They took the bills and the seal, and I looked at the app, and it finally updated. So I had to drive to the terminal, which was back the other direction I came from, to pick it up. I've also, I've experienced issues with the app crashing on me and completely stopped working. It's a newer app that they're working on and developing. I get it, but it should be noted that there are issues with the app. And then there's their route suggestions and their fuel solutions. You will experience issues of your fuel route not matching your route that they send as a guide, and you will have to choose either to run in route miles or out of route miles, which you don't get paid for. You are paid zip code to zip code on a route that they provide. No more miles will be paid if you go out of route. You are paid set miles at your mile rate. So if you're paid 45 cents a mile, which is what I'm paid at, you get paid 45 cents a mile per dispatched miles. You don't get to, add the miles and going a different route if it's quicker or it goes around something. You just don't get paid for additional miles unless it's accounted for when you call dispatch. Say, hey, there's this. You gotta reroute me around this, and then they'll add the miles around it, and they should, in theory, pay you for those. The pay structure is contingent on drivers hitting very difficult bonus structure. The fuel bonus is structured to be almost impossible to hit. The way they do it is weird. You must watch how much fuel you put in your tanks. It's not based on the price, it's based on gallons you put in. So if you put too much gallons of fuel on in your tanks, say Friday you put, hold on, let me backtrack. So you start your week out at half a tank. You get a load dispatched, you fill up completely, you run that load, and you drop. And you run what you put in until you need to get fuel again. So you get to one of your fuel solution stops, and you put fuel in, and you go about your week, and then you get to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This is where it gets to be tricky. So if you don't hit their miles per gallon goal for that month, you do not get paid your bonus for that. So if you're putting in too much fuel, it'll say you're getting a 4 mile per gallon average, which your truck can say you're getting 8.5. But their system shows you're getting 4.5, 4 gallons, 5 gallons a mile, or whatever. How they do it is based on gallons and how much you use per dispatch miles. It makes no sense to me. If they're trying to make, drivers happy, do it by price and how much they spend on diesel, not how much they put in. Right? So production bonus should be easy for anyone if you're running the miles. So if you're running over 9,000 miles a month, you're going to get your production bonus, and it's going to be depending on your rate. Again, I'm a 45 cent per mile rate, so their production is a tiered based system. So it goes 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, and 4 cent on top of your base rate. So 45 cents, 46 cents, 47 cents, 48 cents, 49 cents. And then your safety bonus is contingent on your smart drive score with Night, I'm sure with Swift. They have cameras in their trucks. Okay, so with Night Transportation, they have cameras and sensors in their trucks. It's a outward facing camera, no inward facing camera, no mirror cameras, none of that. So if you brake too hard or you do something that upsets the system, it'll record a 20-second clip, okay? 10 seconds before, 10 seconds after. And it'll get sent to Smart Drive. They'll go through it and say if it's worthy enough to send off to the Night terminal. Then if it is, the next morning you're going to get a call saying, hey, you set off a Smart Drive event. To get your safety bonus, you have to have under a 15 safety score. And it varies. From what I've heard, it varies. They can change it. Right now it's a 15. So that's their goal, is to get under a 15 or under. So that's how that system works. And then you can also find your score in the KT mobile app. Pull out your little menu and it'll say Smart Drive score summary, and it shows you all that. It shows you events and how much they're worth and all that. And then onto the DQP process, or known as driver qualification process or orientation. It's jammed with information, and it's only 3 days. So soak up as much information as you can. Really, the process goes quickly. Day one is getting into the terminal and going to the doctor, getting your physical, your physical, your vision test, your height, weight, all that stuff needed to get your new physical card. And then you go back to the terminal. You do a drug test, a hair follicle test. There in the terminal. Then they send it off, and then you'll receive your results back in a few days. If you got to do a sleep apnea test, it's going to take a little longer. Depends on how quick you can get it done. And you have to pay out of pocket for that. You do not get reimbursed to do a sleep apnea test. So, day one, hair follicle test, drug test, physical. Watch videos and do some tests. During your application process with Night Transportation, you do modules. If you get the modules done before DQP, good. You have less to worry about. I got mine done beforehand so I could get it done and over with. They send you a link and information after you've applied. Recruiting does all this. They send you a link and everything to Night University, and you go through and do your modules, and this is where you do your safety test and all that for the month, so you can get your safety bonus and stuff like that too. So day two, more videos, some more information about Night Transportation, how to use their E-Log Zonar, how to chain tires, and more information about their pay, their bonus, and stuff like that. And then day 3 is just making sure everything is done. So you then can be set on a truck with a trainer if you're not a qualified, experienced driver. Once done with DQP, you are issued a terminal badge and your driver manager. And if you are sent out with a trainer, you'll get his information and reach out to him. And then they'll give you a booklet with information. I actually might have my booklet somewhere. I don't remember where I put it. But they give you an information booklet. It tells you how to do things, your pre-trip and stuff like that, and has numbers on it for breakdown and stuff like that. You can find a lot of that stuff in the KT mobile app, and it all corresponds with KT mobile app. You can do a whole bunch of stuff with it, but it really does need a major overhaul. Now, on to the pros and cons. We're going to start off with the pros. Great terminal management, depending on your terminal, of course. There are some great terminal managers out there. My terminal manager is also my driver manager. He's great. The rest of the team is great. I dealt with all of them. Wouldn't change terminal. Wouldn't do anything. Love my terminal. Tulsa, you're doing good. So, there are some great people out there that are bound by some really poor company policies. But, it's a good starter company to get into the trucking industry. They've got newer trucks and some newer trailers. They do have some older trailers. That's a con. They keep you moving if the freight is there and you're willing to run. Company stock program, once you've been there for X amount of days, I don't remember what it was. I've not participated in the stock program. I don't think I will. You get to see the glory of the United States. You're out here trucking, driving. You get to go coast to coast, northwest, southeast, you name it. So there's potential to become a lease driver after you meet the qualifications. I believe it's 30,000 miles with night, a 7.0 MPG, and some other information. Not worried about becoming a lease driver. The economy for freight isn't there to support it, and I don't have the capital to dish out to keep myself afloat. So you have the potential to get paired with a great trainer that cares. You get paid for DQP or orientation, which is 3 days, and training while on the truck up to 4 weeks. I was a 4-weeker because I was not a qualified driver, even though I was driving local tractor trailer for a very, very, very long time. So you get paid for all that. The insurance company is one of the top, I would say. It's Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. The con side to it is it can get pricey when choosing your enrollment packages. If you're doing a family deal and it's more than just you, it's going to get up there in price. With me, I believe right now I'm only paying $40. I think it's a week. I think that's how they do it. $40 a week. And Knight has a driver app for checking your dispatch loads and sending information, as we discussed before. Now, onto the cons. Some old equipment. There's some old trailers that really just need to be put out of service and sold, and then replaced with new trailers. There's a huge potential for breakdowns with trailers that have bad or mismatched tires. I've dealt with this. It's not fun. You don't really get paid for breakdown. So be sure to do a thorough pre-trip. Roll forward, check your tires, roll forward, check your tires. Do it a couple times if you have to make sure. A lot of your pay is tied up in hard to reach bonuses, as discussed before. Your fuel, safety, and production. That can all get hard to reach if you're not running the miles. Starter company pay, you start at 45 cents a mile, and then penny raise after your first 30,000, so you bump up from 45 to 46, and then another penny raise from 46 to 47 at 60,000, and then after that it goes to 100,000, and then after that it then drops down from 100,000 to 200,000, and then you have to stay out for a long period of time to make good money. Don't take home time as often, and you'll be okay. So you don't get a lot of miles too often. So it really depends on the area and the freight volume in that area that you can run in. For me, this is a big con to me because I went from driving manual trucks to an automatic. All the trucks are automatic for fuel economy. So that means you don't get to choose, hey, I want a 10-speed, 13-speed, 15-speed, 18-speed manual truck. They are all equipped with a form of automatic, whether that's a 10-speed, 13-speed, 12-speed automatic. It just varies on manufacturer. The trucks themselves, okay. I don't care too much for the Volvo. Unfortunately, it's a little small. It's a Volvo thing, I guess. Every other truck I've been in has been quite roomy. The lease program isn't a good idea for startup drivers. Just getting into the industry, if you don't have the capital to keep yourself afloat, please, please, please do not make yourself go broke. And after your first 30,000 miles, and if you meet the qualifications, say, hey, I want the freedom to pick my loads, do this, do that. It won't work the way you're thinking. The program right now is just not a good idea. Okay, so please, if you don't have the capital, do not do the lease program. So you have the potential to get paired with a bad trainer. You also have the potential to get paired with a good trainer, as I said before. So if you get paired with a bad trainer that doesn't care, I'm sure there's things you can do. Call the terminal, say, hey, this trainer's not training me the way I need to be taught, or he's doing things that shouldn't be done. Just go by ear. Discretion, really. Just if you really don't think it's working out, I'm sure they can switch you out to a different trainer if one's available. DQP and training pay sucks. You only get $300 for DQP. That's $100 a day. And then $100 a day while on the truck for a total before taxes. This is before taxes. I learned this after. For a total of $700 a week. And then after taxes, I was only really seeing about $580 at most a week. So, and then the trucks are governed at 62, 63 on the pedal, and then 65 on the cruise control, and then lease drivers are opened up to a maximum of 70. All the tires except the steers are recaps or also known as retread tires. They're cheap with the max speed of 75 mile an hour. I'm sure if it was legal to run retread tires on the steers, I honestly feel they would be running retread tires on the steers. And retread tires on steers is currently and hopefully will stay illegal for the near future. Because if a retread tire goes bad and you have it on a steer position, that's not a good thing. The yards are packed full, and I mean packed full of out of service trailers that have been red tagged. You can't hook up to them unless it's a simple fix, a light's not working or something simple. Um, there's also trailers that were pulled from service to be sold, plugging up the yards. Thankfully, it's not like that at Tulsa, but the Vegas yard's packed. Salt Lake is packed. A lot of these yards are packed full of trailers that are out of service you can't use. And it makes it really, really hard to find a viable empty trailer so you can hook up to it and go get loaded. The maintenance department is slow and honestly not the best. So they have a open program, I guess it's called a program or whatever. They have an open maintenance department to other companies and stuff like that. It's called Iron. So these iron shops are Knight's shop that's open to the public. So you can say you own your own truck and you come in. They'll service your truck, but it's going to take forever to get your truck in and then serviced. So it's not the best. So, eh. But really, my conclusion is do the research on the company you're looking at and compare them with others to see what fits your needs. Honestly, Knight fit what I needed. It was a decent starter company. There was a lot of stuff that I looked at on YouTube, and that's where I really, compared Prime, Warner, Swift, JB Hunt, and etc. So, and I eventually chose Knight Transportation. But do your research; it will pay in the long run. Let's see. I know there's something I'm forgetting. Let's see here. There it is. So each terminal, I believe I went over this, but it just really depends. Yeah, no. Yeah, I went over this one. Okay. I'm getting a little confused. Drove all day and then parked and then spent 3 hours writing notes. I'm just trying to be very thorough with you guys. So just do your research. Honestly, it pays so much to find a company that you're going to stick it out with for a year or longer to really get into this industry. It pays to do research big time. So if you ever want to come over to Knight Transportation, let them know Jesse Joslin sent you with a driver code of 27316. Again, Knight Transportation is a mega carrier, so they have their issues. So does Warner and all the others. But again, research pays. So hopefully this video helped. So that's Trucking with Joslin, signing off.